Aquarius, welcome to your Intimate Tarot reading. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read Intimate Tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up, if you're that person who is sensitive around the topics of sexual energy, sexual identification, or any descriptions along that vein, feel free to pass this one up. This is not the message type for you. No offense taken, none whatsoever. I would never ask you to watch, nor would I advocate you watch anything that crosses your beliefs, or would just frankly upset you, and you know it would upset you because you will take nothing from it except perhaps frustration with yourself or with me. And we can avoid all that altogether. So here's the general rule. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't watch it. That's it. Okay? A lot of people watch Intimate Tarot for a lot of different reasons. Most of the time, they're just curious, or they're amused by me, yours truly, and all sorts of stuff in between. We want to know more about our sexual energy in the general sense. What's it like for us as an individual? Do we know about our sexual energy? A lot of people just want to sweep it under the rug like it's not important or it doesn't matter until it is. And then suddenly it's very important, right? With the self, and then most likely in conjunction with someone else, i.e. our relationships. So that's why it's valid. All energy is real. All energy is valid. And it's all worth looking at because it has a play. It has say in our lives. You know, and the more you know, the better. If you are someone who really understands that sexual energy is not in the play of who you are, there you go. It's not important to you. Or you believe it isn't. All right? There you go. No big deal. Or you're someone who understands your sexual energy is important to you and you value it and you want to incorporate it in a healthy way. What's going on in there? All that good stuff. That's it, really. Basic rules apply. Take it resonates, leave it does not. Reverse those energies as you need to. I have to elaborate on the opening, honey, because there's always some dissatisfied person who completely ignored everything I said on the intro. They just wanted to get to the juicy part and said, well, there's more to it than just sexual energy, Christina. That's more relationships. That's what I said, sugar. That's what I said. Okay? Yeah, that's why we're here. I know people often watch because they just want to see if they're going to have a good time that weekend, you know? I understand. It's usually a lot more intricate than that, case in point, while we're here. We're going to start by pulling you an energetic overview. This is the oracle made by the same folks who made the tarot deck of sexual magic, so this is its companion. It's really cool. I've been enjoying it. Forgiveness. Somebody else had this, I believe. I can't recall who, but here we have the sense of forgiveness. Can you forgive me? Can I forgive you? And the sexual energies. It's a coming together with an open acknowledgement of forgiveness. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. Forgiveness is a choice, however. Just because someone offers it does not mean you have to accept it, and just because you might be offering it to someone else doesn't mean they have to accept it. So forgiveness is a choice. Like all things, there's choice. So if you're immediately up in arms about that, okay, you already have an idea of where this is going to go today. Okay? It could also be forgiveness of the self and one's sexual energy. You know, I shouldn't have hooked up with old so-and-so. I knew he was going to be and it wasn't even worth it because, you know what, old so-and-so, it weren't even that good. So there's that forgiveness of the self too. You know, we'll see. Let's see what's going on, please, for that Aquarian sexual energy. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy, please. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. What's going on, please? Queen of Pentacles, a Five of Wands. You're a little bit up in arms over here. I can see that. The Hanged Man, King of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, we got some big old delay here. You're sexually frustrated and or pissed off. Your person knows this. And it's funny because you're showing me matching sweet energy here. So similar frequencies. The King, Queen of Pentacles. And sexual energy suggests that you both have your kind of physical outputs that you are both familiar with. My physical body's like this. This is what I need to feel appreciated sexually. They do too. So the King, Queen of Pentacles, they're very claiming of their body. They tend to be more tactile than, let's say, verbal, something like that. But it's like, these are my needs as I best understand it. And they're like, these are my needs as I best understand it. But the implication here is that we have a certain comfort zone with our body. And right now you're saying, my body, my physical form is off limits. My sexual energy is not comfortable with you at this time. And frankly, it's a little pissed off. And they're like, I know, that's why I'm in Hanged Man. So they are currently in perspective about their sexual energy towards you and the overall construct of this relationship. How far it goes, I could not say. Let's keep going. We will see upon clarification. The Star, that's you, honey. Very good. 4 of Wands. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. We're feeling like this is not my destiny. Okay. I'm not saying it's over. What I'm saying is like, man, this is not what I thought it would be. At least not right now. And there's you, the Star. It's good to see your power energy here today. You have hopes and dreams in you about what should your relationship energy, so it is full-on relationship. Could be commitment, doesn't have to be, but it's the idea of you and me, right? And there is some very strong you and me energy here today. So for your singles Aquarians, this could be your future, okay? But we're doing some straight-up couple stuff today. So this is my dream as I best understand it in the relationship. In Five of Pentacles, I feel a little broken from my dream, Christina. I got a relationship here, but it's not racking up to what I thought it'd be, okay? It's not the biggest of desires and dreams and hopes that I had wanted. Perhaps it was. As we know, the star is a far-reaching concept. Okay, that's why the Ace of Swords is your master symbol. You're out there, man. You're a far-reaching concept, and that's what you do. It's one of your superpowers. Your brain can extend many miles outwards where other people are just way down here, and you're way out there. And you're kind of telling me that your relationship, you had big hopes and dreams for it way out there, but in reality, Five of Pentacles, it's a little broken. It's not what you thought it would be, sexually or otherwise. So let's keep going. You see how far it's already going? It's not about, well, he just doesn't flirt with me anymore. Or she doesn't do that special thing anymore. It was my special thing and she hasn't done it. You know, it's a little bit more than that. See? Already kind of case in point here. The overall concept of the world. Aquarius. You have shown me, you and your person have shown me some really strong earthbound energy today. Realistic. Very realistic. This is not, we've been separated for years. No. This is happening right now on Earth. Okay? And we are contemplating the cycle here. Now it's either the sexual cycle, okay, that you and your person, it's coming to a close, but the relationship might still be intact, but not fully intimate. Or the relationship itself, it might be in that place of exit. We'll see. Let's not freak out, guys. Let's not freak out. I know you're good about it, but still, guys, I see Five of Wands, Hanged Man, perspective. Okay, fine. Hopefully we're learning something here. But you're showing me breakage in the world. Okay. Okay, I didn't make them up. What hits the table is what hits the table. So let's talk about it. This is why we're here. If any of this, again, is making you uncomfortable, this is where you need to go. This is where we need to part ways. Again, no offense taken. Okay? But I do the real stuff, and I'm not here to kiss your ass. I'm here to understand. All right, let's see that Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Let's see that. Are you frustrated? Yes. Are you in a place of feeling soft and nurturing right now in terms of your sexual energy or otherwise? No. You're saying you're not comfortable giving that at this time. And that's fine. Given the looks of this, I wouldn't want you to. Never do anything that you know that you're not into it. Don't. Okay? You don't feel like you're in a very giving place right now. King, Queen of Pentacles can be very generous with the people that they love. And when they're not generous, they're not generous. That includes the sexual energy too. I can give you everything because I'm super comfortable with you, or I won't give you nothing. And you can like it. Or leave it. Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. So they're either generous or they're very not. Like I say, Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Show me that energy, please. Show me that energy once more. If I'm laughing, it's not at you. I'm a very expressive person. Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Six of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Judgment. Man, I'm telling you, you got a lesson in here, and it's not a comfortable one, but it is a lesson in balance, sexual balance, home balance, intimacy balance. It's all in there. And you're saying you're not comfortable with the balance. What does that mean to you? Are you saying you're not comfortable with the sexual balance? Are you saying you're not comfortable with the comfort balance, as in home and relationship status? What are you not comfortable about? Because we need to figure this out with Judgment, because it is leading up to a Ten of Swords, and I did see the World. I've been starting here, but for some reason they're like, go over here first, and so I did. I've done that. This is the second time now, where they've told me just to jump immediately to the first person, and then I'll get to your overview. But they just said, go over here first, so I did. They told me straight away, you're not comfortable. You're showing me a lot of tension, and I'm going to go ahead and assume it's reasonable tension. Aquarius, you got a lot in your spirit and a lot in your mind. The thing is, are you allowing yourself to be receptive to those lessons? Because right now I see a lot of tension. Your sexual energy is not going in or out with this person. Okay, not that I can see. And you're doing your best not to take it personally, but that's not really the point. There's something in here for you to see and or look at regarding the balance of the physical nature in your relationship with this person. It goes well beyond sexuality at this point. Do you feel like a comprehensive person in this relationship? Do you feel like you are comfortable in it? Do you feel like the contribution is equal and correct for you both? Do you feel comfortable in it at all, just as an individual? Never mind them. What about you? Lessons in here with judgment. That whatever it is we construct on paper that looks comfortable may not play out that way X many years down the road. See what I'm saying? There's something where you're no longer comfortable with the physical aspects of this in terms of your reality, your home structure, your relationship in the general sense, including your sexuality. So I can kind of see where you're not open for business. You understand? With that kind of energy, nobody's going to be turned on. Like, oh, honey, let's fool around tonight. This is not let's fool around tonight energy. This is, I'm not interested. And I'm not really sure why. I just know I'm upset. And I'm inclined to block all my comfortable sexual energy with you because I don't feel comfortable. Something doesn't feel right to me, and I don't know if I want to keep giving to this anymore. That's the meat and potatoes in there for you. Let's jump on over here to the world. Show me the world, please. Show me the world, please. You kind of feel like it's something back there, right? You're not just your lesson, but also your decision. Judgment's the implication of both. It's like now that you've learned this, what are you going to do with it? It's not enough to learn it. You got to apply it. So I don't know how fully you learned are in this. It's looking like it's active present day. So I don't know if we've arrived to the conclusion of the lesson yet. Never mind, apply it. But the world is here, as well as the Ten of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. What's up? Show me that. Show me the world, please. 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 What's going on? No, guys, I'm not looking at past. I'm looking at present. So for those of you who've already been there, done that, I understand. Timelines are different for everybody. This is an Aquarius that's knee-deep in it right now. Okay? Let's see the world. Seven of Swords. We're avoiding this. The Knight of Cups. The Hermit. You know, we're at that place now where we don't want to avoid our feelings anymore. Because we don't know, frankly, if they can be healed. So that's our emotional energy as well as your sexual energy. You're saying you don't know if you're in a place right now where you're even open-minded towards healing it. Once upon a time, you used to be open towards healing it, but you're saying you're leaning more and more away from that with the Seven of Swords. You're starting to think the emotional and sexual cycle for whatever this is shut. You're done. I just don't think you've admitted it to yourself. Haven't you noticed that you're going like this more and more with your person? I don't have feelings to express to you. I know I probably should, but it's just not in me. I know I have sexual energy towards you that I should probably be expressing, but it's just not in me. Well, I don't care that the last time was a month ago. That was a month ago. We're talking about today, right? With your person. Well, yeah, I understand I wasn't like this a year ago, but this is what I'm like today. Deal with it. No, I wasn't always like this. Why you keep bringing that up? This is where I am today. And right now, I got nothing to express to you. Same as yesterday, the week before, and the month before. You see what I'm saying? You know that. But you don't seem to quite fully understand where it's coming from. You just know that you're in a place where you don't want to emotionally and sexually express yourself to this person anymore. You seem to have concluded that it's like a cycle you're not acknowledging. Okay? So that tells me you're not comfortable with the full lesson of this yet. That this balance, whatever it is not balancing for you anymore. It might have done, I'm sure. How many weeks ago, months ago, or years ago? I don't know how long you've been with this person. But the comfort zone that used to be there between you two suggests that you two were possibly compatible and very comfortable with each other once upon a time. And I don't know how long ago that was. But the world is here, and there's kind of a half-hearted admission that you know you don't express yourself to this person like you used to. And I'm sure that they have a similar thing too. Takes two. But we haven't concluded much else. You're saying you're past the point of healing on this. You don't have the words for this anymore, right? So the Knight of Cups is our emotional deploy. And in sexual tarot, the same. So here we have our emotionality and sexuality in the form of vulnerable delivery. Okay? Seven of Swords. The Hermit. So it's not just from you, it's what you're receiving. So any offer this person's making towards you to be emotionally vulnerable, light, romantic, or sexual, you're also leaning away from. So it's not just what's coming from you, but towards you as well. I'm seeing it both ways. It's like, I'm not open to that. And I understand it's supposed to be a healing thing, but I'm not there with you. I just don't see the point anymore, or you don't feel that there's a point. It's interesting. It's very, very detailed today, guys. So again, just for like the third time now, if this is making you uncomfortable, and frankly, it's not your story, peace be with you, man. Woman, peace be with you. Don't force it to fit. Why would you do that? Why would anyone want to force this to fit? Just because it says Aquarius in the title doesn't mean it's for you. Okay? Like I said, I'm not doing past today, guys. I'm jumping right into present day. So again, this is either hitting your radar as truth or it ain't. Okay? The Hanged Man and the King of Pentacles. Let me see this person attached to you, please. Show me the King of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. They're trying to gain perspective on all this, so that's good. That means time out. Okay, time out. They're not pushing you. You stopped receiving their messages a while ago, and you're not sending them out either. So, Hanged Man. Let's getting perspective on this. Show me this King of Pentacles, please, and the Hanged Man. Show me this. Show me that King of Pentacles, please, and the Hanged Man. Show me that. Three of Wands, waiting. Queen of Swords, the Fool. You know, they feel like they're waiting for you to open up. See, I don't, that's, okay, so, dang it. I was hoping it was active Hanged Man, not passive. It's passive Hanged Man. They seem to think it's your call, your rules. And I guess they're kind of right. If you're in a position where you're not giving or receiving emotional or sexual interest and you're not comfortable with it, they seem to think it's your call, your rules. They'll open up to you when you tell them the timing's right. Okay, so that's unfortunately it's passive Hanged Man. You know, they're kind of, so it's in a way it's respectful. It is, but it's lacking insight of the real issue. The real issue is that you no longer feel balanced in this. You don't seem to want to participate in it. They're not saying that, honey. They're not saying that. They're saying, you know, when Aquarius tells me they're good to go, that's when I can take action. Otherwise, I just keep to myself. And they admit, the closest admission they have is that they wait for you, and it can take a while. But every now and again, you seem to give them something to work with, enough to suggest that they're supposed to wait in between offerings, emotionally, sexually, otherwise. Okay. They're used to it. They're used to it. They said that's their gig, that's their assignment. They wait for you to show interest. And maybe that's why you think it's not fair. You have to pursue them or show them. I'm going to go ahead and take a guess if they said, but if I pursue Aquarius, they'll just shut me down. See, I think one's probably playing into the other. So where's this really coming from? Because they're telling me they're happy to wait. And then they'll open up towards you. They say, that's my cue, Queen of Swords. That's my cue to be the Fool, is when Aquarius shows me a smile or gives me a little bit of a touch, and that's when I know I can open up. Until then, I'm King of Pentacles, Hanged Man, baby. I'm just here. I'm just here. They're coming across as a form of respect for your signals and cues. For you, it's so much bigger than that. But I don't know that you're in a place where you can admit it, because if you knew more about this, they wouldn't be showing me this kind of passive hanged back energy. They'd be contemplating more heavily your lack of feeling and your lack of sexual interest if they had a stronger indication of what the real problem is. So have you had, like I said, judgment? I couldn't tell where you were with that. Have you completely absorbed the lesson that whatever this is might have looked comfortable and felt comfortable once upon a time, but it isn't anymore, and we need to be aware of that, right? Because it seems to me if this person was more enlightened, they'd have a lot more to work with than, well, I just wait for Aquarius to chill or have a better day, and that's when I try to make it in advance. I think they'd be showing me a lot more than that if they had an idea of what's actually going on inside of you, you know? Why did you shut down for this? And that's okay. You don't have to tell me, or if you want to put it in the comments, that's cool. But you need to come to terms with this. I'm saying that because I want people to do what's in their best interest, not the opposite of it. You don't seem to want this. You don't seem to want it emotionally or sexually, and that's fine. I just want you to know that. That way you can get on with your life, make different decisions. You don't have to be stuck in this shit because you look stuck. And you don't want to be. So how do we shift out of it, guys? What do we do? I don't really tell you, you have to tell me. You know? Let's keep going on. Show me you. I want to see the star. The star, 4 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles. You're saying this is kind of like not the droids I was looking for. This is not the relationship I had desired. Should I break from it because I'm already kind of emotionally and sexually broken from it? Should I do the physical piece too? Show me the star, please. The forgiveness involved here. Where's the forgiveness? Show me that star, please. Show me the star. Show me the star. Show me the star. Do you really want to heal this? Because you've told me that Knight of Cups, he could have gone to the Hermit, but you can't reach that space, like that world. It's almost like you're saying you've given up on any sort of emotional or sexual healing in this. And that's cool. Does that mean the whole relationship needs to be done then too? Okay. Show me the star. And I'm saying that's cool just so long as you know. I just want people to know what they're doing. That way they don't feel like they have to live with this forever. You don't have to live with anything forever, you know? I'm sorry, you don't. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I want you to know what else you could be doing. What else you could be living. What else you could be loving. You know? Without all these restrictions. The Hanged Man. The Moon. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You just pulled 3 majors over your own major. That's what I'm talking about. You have your own Hanged Man, but it's under the moon about commitment. What did you commit to, babe? What did you commit to? Look at me. What did you commit to? Do you know what you committed to? Time out. Okay, time out with the star. You. Did you know what you were committing to when you committed? Because this is full-on commitment, guys. It is. Let's make that clear. It's full-on commitment. And this goes beyond, way beyond, will Aquarius call me next week? It goes a lot more beyond that, okay? No, sorry. No, this situation calls for real insight. This situation calls for real reflection. And with that will come strong rewards, but you have to know that. You have to believe in that. Because right now, the star, I got you seriously needing to reevaluate what you understand commitment to be, because this is not what you want. You're saying this is not what I signed up for. Cool. Why'd you sign up for it? Did it shift and change? Did you make this commitment? Did you forge it out of a sense of practicality because it looked good and stable on paper? And that the emotional development would happen over time? Because you opened up with, this is not the balance for me. In fact, I hate it. It causes me pain. This isn't balance at all. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with my emotions towards you or my sex towards you. And frankly, I don't even know if I want to live with you anymore. But it's all on the inside. And we don't quite know where it's stemming from. And that's where we need to dig deeper. What did you hope for in a commitment? We need perspective on this badly because it's under the moon. Your willingness to look at something in a detailed and in-depth way is under the moon about commitment. And that's deep in there, guys. That's deep in there. And how do you really feel about this person who represents commitment? How do you really feel about yourself in this commitment? What do you really perceive to be true about this that you're in? Why did you sign up to it? Why did you agree to it? Because your sexual energy's in here, but it's fragmented. Your emotional energy's in here, but it's fragmented. Your physical energy's in here too, but it's also fragmented. So how do we get you consolidated? We go in there and do the opposite of what we've been doing. Turn around and start looking at all this instead of ignoring it. Because I could not tell where you are with the absorption of this lesson. About balances and choosing commitments based on comfort and practicality as opposed to love. I'm not saying choose your relationships based on sex drive. Don't be cynical. Don't misconstrue my words. You know I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm saying, do you see how when we start to pull the thread of one thing, it leads to others? People have no idea how deep their sexual energy influences them until it's time to look at it, and then boom, look at what's here. You started out with, I'm not comfortable sexually with my partner, more or less. Then you showed me the emotional fragmentation, and you don't really see the point in trying to heal that particular aspect. And we can't take comfort in the balance, so it's like, where does that leave us? That leaves us with we got to really look at this shit. That's where it leaves us. And they're over there just la-da-da-da-da, twiddling thumbs. Well, I'm going to wait for Aquarius to give me the cue, and then I'm on it. So that tells me they have no clue. They have no clue. And you probably are angry with them because they don't have a clue. You're probably maybe even like a little frustrated and pissed off with them because they don't have a clue, because I don't know where you are in understanding this about yourself. We got to look at this, guys. This is no good. We got to keep it going. Show me that 4 of Wands, please. Show me that 4 of Wands. Show me that 4 of Wands. Show me that 4 of Wands. This is where we have to push ourselves to understand hard things. And of course, it's not easy. That's why it's called hard things. It's not easy, you know? Let's see that 4 of Wands. The 10 of Cups, Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups. See, there it is. We want and desire for emotional fluidity so much. And you're saying it's not measured up to this. That Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, the 10 of Cups, you would love emotional vulnerability. You would love romanticism. You would love emotional harmony. That is the 10 of Cups. You want a cohesive household and everyone in it. And you do. I just don't think you want it with this person. You're telling me you're questioning heavily what commitment is, or that you should be, or that you're supposed to be. And we missed a trick. We missed a trick when we signed up for this. Perhaps you confused stability for emotionality. A lot of people do that. Because this feels stable, or this person looks stable, I'll be emotionally stable. And that's wrong. It's incorrect. But I can see where a lot of people confuse the two subjects. A lot of people think if they don't choose relationships based on passion that they'll be safe. Wrong. Anything you have to convince yourself of is true or not true is usually the opposite. Something either feels right from the heart, or it's not. That's all we can do. Something either feels right to us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or it doesn't. But if we have to convince ourselves of something and hope it works out, then it usually doesn't. Not because we're so wrong, but because we put our hopes in the wrong thing or the wrong construct. You know? I have the feeling you made an investment in this and committed to it because something about it said stable. You both made it clear. King, Queen of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles that you were no longer comfortable with, but it suggests to me you used to be. And then you question, or you should be questioning heavily, what you always had hope for commitment in your long-term vision. And it's right here. We want all the love. We want the access to open, free, intense love. Water, water, water. You want water all over your household. Love of home. Love of your person. Romance, vulnerability. Emotional and sexual liberation. The freedom of being in a commitment where you know you can express yourself without inhibitions. That's the way it should be, right? And that's exactly what you showed me as your overview. I have the opposite of that. I don't want to be emotionally open with this at all. Never mind sexually expressive towards it. Let's see that 5 of Pentacles. Show me that 5 of Pentacles, please. Show me that 5 of Pentacles. Show me that 5 of Pentacles. Show me that 5 of Pentacles. Show me that 5 of Pentacles, please. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm not saying you're casting judgment. I'm saying we need to understand ourselves in order to fix this. That's it. That's all I want for anybody. If we're not happy, why? And we can't just be like this. We have to look at what the hell is going on with ourselves first. 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups. You're unhappy in your heart, and you have been for a long time. You have a beautiful heart space, and it actually very much desires to be independent of this because it's unhappy. That's why I see you leaning towards break. That's why I see you contemplating ending this cycle. That's why I hear you saying, I can't maintain this balance anymore. And the universe doesn't want you to. That's why they need you to learn it. It's not your balance. Perhaps once upon a time it was. And it was one of those decisions, like I'm going back towards, that made sense to you at the time. It made sense at the time. But it doesn't make sense now. Especially when you have such a different idea of what a relationship should be. Healthy, emotionally expressive, without issues, developments, issues in development, lack of development. No hesitation. You have a very strong idea of what relationship energy should be. And you're saying what you're in now isn't it. And it wasn't until you were in this for how long before you could realize that or allow yourself to realize that. And here I got 5 of Pentacles. There it is, you know. And the Queen of Cups, I'm just knowing that that's you. I just know it's you. The 9 of Pentacles there, individuation, the 4 of Cups. The idea of breaking from this, it makes you sad, but it also feels liberating simultaneously. Let's just cut to the chase. Yeah. Last card, last clarifier. A little late to cut to the chase, but we get there. I think that's what it comes down to. The idea of you breaking from this upsets you. It does. But that's the first time I actually see your heart come out in full force as an individual. The idea of it liberates you. It's disappointing. But you have a very strong idea of what a good relationship should be. One where you don't have to question or shut down anybody's Knight of Cups, yours or theirs. That you don't have to actively push off any physical energy, including your sexual. You say this is what it should be. You're looking at it upon reflection. If it was like this, would I be thinking about breaking from it exactly? Is this what I really wanted? Did I get that? We need to go back here. Your initial vision, you as a star. Your initial vision of commitment. Your perspective on it's been under the moon for a while. I know, in other words, you're telling me you're actively been avoiding looking at these things because if you looked at it, you'd have to see it for what it was, absorb that lesson, then you will feel pressure to do something about it. And that's where that sadness comes in. If I break from this, that's on me. I'm unhappy with it. But the Aquarius I'm looking at, when you reflect on it as an individual, and you stop being this person's Queen of Pentacles and they stop being your king, you show me Queen of Cups and your heart smiles. Shit. This has to be the shortest one, and it's probably the hardest one. Like always. I can't say this about the other air signs, but yours, like always, not always, but more often than not, yours is a lot like Capricorn. You tend to get to the point faster. You know. There's beauty in that, isn't there? There's beauty in truth. Even if it's the hard truth. Especially the hard truths. Isn't there the Aquarius who identifies with this? Because I'm saying it. The Aquarius who knows better. The Aquarius who's a little bit more developed. The Aquarius who's a little bit more insightful. Even though I'm saying some really hard shit, there's a part of you that feels relieved because you're hearing it, isn't it? Yeah, it's not just you, right? You don't feel so crazy or insane or what's wrong with me. This is a perfectly practical, reliable, and it is. They show me stability. The only thing I have of them is that they wait on you for permission to be emotionally or sexually adventurous. And they have no problem waiting long stretches for that permission element to come in. And I know there's times you get pissed off with them because they can't see what you're really experiencing. That's because you can't really see what you're experiencing, not yet. And when you can better see it and articulate it, their perspective will change quite a bit. But you know that. Part of you is afraid to shift that dynamic because it means admission to yourself about what the hell's really going on here, right? And that's the hard part about hard truths. Once you put them out there, you can't take them back. You know their perspective of you, and this connection will shift. You know it's going to hurt them as much as it's been hurting you to stay. Think about that. You're not doing anyone favors, least of all you, by keeping this to yourself. But until you can start to see the other side of things and the benefits of owning this, it's going to be a fearful thing that you keep to yourself. So I can kind of see why you have actively discouraged insight. I don't blame you. But if you want to get more at peace with yourself, and maybe that's where the forgiveness is coming from, forgiving yourself, right? These thoughts are real for me. These feelings are real for me. These experiences that crazy tarot lady on YouTube is describing, these are real, as I best understand it. I entered into this because I thought it was stable or practical. And I can forgive myself for that. I'm just a human being. It made sense to me at the time. Or I can forgive this situation, how it's played out. I can forgive the fact that they're not in tune with me. They have no clue, bless them, because I didn't have a clue. Or it could be you saying, please forgive me. This is how I really feel. This is what I've really been thinking. This is why I've been so weird these past however long, months or years. It's been a while. So that forgiveness element is more critical for you, I think, than anything else. I know what that energy is. It's kind of like saying, I'd have to admit that I was wrong by choosing this commitment. I don't know if I'm in a place to say that. I know, but then look how damned uncomfortable you are in it. So we have to admit to some degree that it's not right for us, right? And I've known, and honey, I've been that person where I gravitate towards something that feels really, really, really right, and I know it is. I can think it, I can feel it. But it doesn't mean I'm any less wrong, you know? The other things I failed to take into consideration, or I just didn't think about, or it just didn't occur to me until later, until I started engaging with it. And I'm like, you know what? It still called to me. It still spoke to me. And I did my best to reach out to it and even engage in it. I made that choice. But I have to withdraw my choice now. Okay. I withdraw that choice now. I have to, because I understand as much as I wanted this, I know it's not right for me anymore. I need to forgive myself. I see where I chose wrong, or I see where I engaged with this wrong. So how much I want it, or in your case, how much you don't want it, doesn't really matter. It's understanding what its purpose is serving for you now, or it isn't. And you forgive yourself for that. You know? It's not a mistake. Honey, it's never a mistake. It's only a mistake if you don't learn. That's it. In which case, it just becomes a defeating behavior. But yeah, no, you don't really fail. So long as you do right by you, to the best of your abilities, in the situation to the best of your abilities, then you don't fail. So I know the idea of you breaking from this and having to own it, it upsets you. But then your heart turns around and smiles by the idea of being on its own. See, you can stop hiding yourself, right? You can stop hiding your heart and your sex towards this, because there won't be anything to hide. You can say it to yourself, I don't want to share those parts of myself with this person. And it's also wrong for me to stay if it causes me this much conflict. Okay? Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups. You need to invest in your true heart space. I can see that you haven't done that. Again, it's not an accusation. That's just where you found yourself in life. Page of Pentacles, little investment into what your heart really desired. There's that Queen of Cups again. Some of you have some beautiful water in you. And there's that Ten of Cups, what you've really truly desired for. And perhaps, again, when you signed up for this, you thought it might have led to this. But we didn't. The advice here is to invest more in what you feel and not so much the surface and or practical value, because I can kind of see on your opening, that's where we came from. And maybe it felt safe, honey, at the time. Again, just to reiterate for those people who are not listening, perhaps you entered into this because you thought stability equals happiness. A lot of people do that. And you know what? I'm like this. I'm an emotional investor, right? That would have been an Ace of Pentacles for me. I'm an emotional investor. And just because I can be really convinced emotionally something, I love this, I would do anything for it. I would give it, there's no guarantee of the other side. But at least I know I was right for myself and I was speaking for myself. You understand? I'm trying to put it in a different position so you can see motivations and why we choose what we do and how it influences us. So the advice here is to invest more from the heart for your long-term happiness. Okay? And if this person does not represent the fulfillment of that heart space, then you know you have the answer. You know? I know the answer is in you. It's right here. It is scary to look at. Okay? I'm curious. Yeah. And then we would have fulfillment. True fulfillment. I wanted to see if you have to be strong, and then you will know empowerment. I wanted to be a little cheeky and see if I could, but I can't. I couldn't see new. I was trying to shift into new. I admit I was trying to get, it's like I wanted to see that you could see the other side of things. In a way you can, but it's non-person specific. By that I mean you have a very strong idea of what emotional happiness would be in a relationship. This is what you actually desire. It's not tied to anyone specifically, not yet. But that's the other side you can't see. What a relationship should feel like, as opposed to its function and how you are dissatisfied with its function and how it's played out. Make sense? So yeah, I know. The world is on your mind, the Ten of Swords is on your mind, the Five of Pentacles is on your mind. And when the collective gets through this and clears it a bit more, I will see improvement a bit more every time. But just to summarize for your intimate tarot today, the sexual energy is not up for display. It's not an option. The Aquarius I'm looking at, it's combative. You don't feel comfortable with it. Not with this context. You said the balance, you don't care for it at all, physical or otherwise. Okay? Okay. All right. We have a judgment here and a lesson and about accepting. And I had this talk with Scorpio not too long ago, so again, don't take offense to it. Everybody gets one of these. About knowing when to call it quits. There's something either being rejected in your emotions and sex from you or for the other person. I don't think it's from them. They're kind of just like, Aquarius is not into me this day or this week or this month. I'll wait. That's it. That's all I got from them. And there's a lesson in that you are rejecting the world with this person, but we don't quite know it yet. We need to catch up to that. Okay. Anything else in here, please? Let your friends help you about your soulmate. Okay. Let your friends help you. I'm saying this as you have a friend that you are incredibly close to. We're talking soulmate. Soulmate does not have to be love interest, guys. We got to get out of that fucking box. If I could take a stick of dynamite and blow up that box, I would. People like soulmates equal forever person. No. Soulmate is anyone who is defined by your soul tribe. And I'm saying that is that you have someone who is in your soul tribe that is very close to you. We're talking best friend. We're talking like that best family member, the person that you know you can go to exclusively to talk about these things to. You know they will understand you like this. They know how you are without actually having to detail it. You have that language with this person. I need you to talk to that person. I don't know that you've talked to them about this. They might have an idea. They might have a clue. They might even have a feeling. They're that person that has the feeling, I thought something was going on with you, but I didn't want to say, or I thought it best if you talked about it, then I would bring it up. That's the person I'm talking about, the person who uses that language. They're the ones that can kind of feel you, okay, without actually having to use that language. I'm telling you, you have that person. They're either a friend or a family member, but they're that special one who just kind of gets you a little better. I need you to talk to that person. They got something for you. They got some insight for you regarding the situation. I'm telling you right now. The way those two came out together, I know exactly what it was. This is that person you think about and they call you. That's that person. Okay? But I have that feeling. You'll kind of edge your way around it in conversation with them, and they'll be like, I wanted to say something, but I didn't know, and I didn't want to offend you or upset you, but I suspected or I felt something was off. They're going to say something like that. That's the person you need to talk to. Calling in your soulmate. This is angel protection, your prayers and affirmations. Calling in your soulmate. So you're calling in for help here again. I'm saying it in conjunction with your prayers, affirmations, visualizations. So what are you praying for? Okay, are you praying for things to get easier? Are you praying and meditating on understanding this better? Wanting a solution? Okay, visualize it. Release your ex. Forgiving and learning. Releasing the ex. See, this person's on the verge of being an ex, honey. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but the Aquarius I'm looking at, you know, but don't know. And they have not a clue, and I can see why it upsets you that they don't have a clue. Because that means you're the responsible party for ending this, right? And that's upsetting in and of its own right. You even said it down here. You said it right down here. If I break from this, that's on me. And I'm going to cause a lot of upsetness. And then I see your heart smile. Feeling liberated. Okay. Some of you got engaged to the situation based on some attraction, and that's fine. But for the most part, I saw comfort here in your two's energy that says you were very comfortable and or used to each other. That makes me strongly suspect you built a life and or foundation around comfort, quality of predictability, resourcefulness, feeling solid, secure. Okay. You both had a very similar attraction to that element, the King, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. I think you both had a similar attraction. And that's why we got engaged to it, or committed to it, I should say. Okay, but yeah, forgiving and learning. Here it is again, forgiveness. That's what I'm saying, baby. It's a learning process. It is a life is a learning process. It's not fun. And let me tell you, you're never too old to learn it. You could be 20-something. You could be a 60-something. You are never too old to learn this shit. And it's forgiving and learning, and to release that ex, because they are becoming more and more of an ex every day in your world. What makes it hard for you is that they don't know. I think. They don't seem to really have a clue. And I think that's what's making this a lot harder. Because you know more than they do. But even you haven't fully come to terms with it. So the more you come to terms with it, the more you understand, the more you forgive yourself, because you're learning. Say, I'm human, I've made mistakes. Even you, honey, you're human too. That big, blessed Aquarian energy, you're human too. But forgiving and learning, yes. Now, there might be some shit that went down that I'm not saying here today that puts you in a position where you just can't trust them anymore. Okay, particularly that physical energy, the real world. Okay. You might have been able to, you might have said, I've forgiven them. There's that too. I have to put this in there as a side. I don't know why. I didn't even see it in the cards today. But they might have, somebody here might have effed up really bad. Really bad. And that's already after the fact, and that's why I'm not seeing it. And perhaps you told yourself you forgave them, but we didn't. Not really. Just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean you're accepting the situation. You can forgive somebody and still part ways with it. In fact, for a lot of people, that's what real forgiveness is. And I've heard it 1,000 times. The only way I can forgive myself, this situation, or you, is to separate myself from it. Not because I hate you, but because it's the right thing to do. I want to be in a position to still care about you and think well of you, and I can't do that when we're together. So my form of forgiveness is separating from it 100%. Forgiveness isn't, I have to technically forgive you because I have no other option, so I'm just going to bury all that shit under the moon. Yeah, that's not forgiveness. That's playing along. But that's for some of you, not all of you. That's for some of you, not all of you. I had to throw that in there. I don't know why it kept, it's like a fly around the side of my head, which means pay attention, and it's annoying. But yeah, for some of you, yeah. We tried to forgive it, but we started to lose emotional and sexual trust for it. And it's like there's no coming back to that for some of you. Okay. Oh my, so much reverse energy. Cupid's arrow, and then also the arrow of Sag. Points are hitting home. Being hit by love, struck by love. But that point hasn't gone home in a long time. Okay. Some of you don't see it as falling in love, it's just so much as being struck. Hurts. With the big heart. You're afraid to break this person's heart or hit them. The bat. Here, typically I see it as, you know, someone's either your mate or they're not. It's sonar, unique sonar to find our mate, okay, to navigate in a different way compared to other people. But in this respect, I'm seeing it as coming to terms with our darker thoughts. That's what they also represent, the nighttime thoughts. They fly around. We're not necessarily comfortable with them. Okay. The octopus in reverse. So water sign, and then also we're not gripping this. We're not gripping this. I don't think you want to keep it. The dog with the bone in the reverse, not wanting to be anxious about this anymore. Or this person, I have the feeling that it's them. They don't know that they're anxious about this. I just see, again, I kind of go by what Aquarius says. Like the impression to be upset or anxious isn't there for them. So they've kind of agreed to go along with your particular flow, and they have no protest at all. So it makes me think they have no idea what's going on inside you. Okay, especially if it's a forgiveness issue where you said you forgave, but it wasn't really in there. Okay, that's for some of you. The zombie in reverse. We don't want to feel like that anymore. The day in, the day out drudgery. I was hoping to get some letters. Pisces, Sagittarius, Cancer, and the letter N. Okay. Yeah, no, sexual energy just isn't all about relationships. The relationships aren't all about sexual energy, Christina. Yeah, I know. That's why we're here. I don't know how many of you this will resonate with. This is Aquarius is in it, and they're still in it. But they're getting closer and closer to understanding the release principles and forgiveness. And I said I forgive this, but that doesn't mean I can stay here. I'm just no longer comfortable with you, and I understand, and I can admit that to myself. Or I formed a connection with you and committed to you for reasons that made sense at the time, but they no longer do. I just know that you have a very clear vision of what relationship energy should be, and it's not in this. And if you separate from it, it's the first time I really see your heart come out. It comes out for you. Okay. September. Last September, you might have really been feeling a particular crunch in the stress of this, which was only a couple weeks ago. There might have been some sort of confrontational energy or an incident that was really outstanding to you and made you start questioning yourself a lot more. But there might have been a pressure around September, but let it happen organically. You're going to discover this when you need to. Okay? It's taking you a while to pry the lid off that particular moon, because this is a devastating thing for the Aquarius I'm looking at. Because you know it will be you. You know that it would be you that engages in this, initiates it if you trigger an ending. And some of you will have a better idea of that by December. Or a much stronger vision of it, I should say. Okay, that's enough. The next round of Intimate Tarot is in approximately 2 months. I do not know that I will see a continuation of this. However, there's a possibility I will see a variation of its unfolding method. Very rarely is anything cut and dry, guys. Or I could see something brand new altogether. Okay, that's always a possibility. But yeah, sexual tarot, I find more and more, is not for the faint of heart. Not because people are uncomfortable with graphics, which I did not see any graphic scenarios for you at all. Just a discomfort. My sexual energy is not for you or this situation, and I don't know if it ever will be again. That's all I saw. And there's like, I'll just take what I can get when Aquarius feels like it. The intimacy isn't here. We've tried healing it, then we backed away from it. You said it's a non-construct. It just won't take. It won't take. The emotional and sexual energy won't take for the situation. You've done tried. You're done trying. That we know. So what's left is the physical piece. So no, I didn't see any graphic stuff for you. So really, sexual tarot is not for the faint of heart. Not because people are like, oh, that she just talked about oral sex and I'm so uncomfortable. No. Lightweight. No. It's about how it clearly is embedded in many ways. It's just but one thread you start pulling, and then you start realizing that one thread is part of a big sweater. And the more you pull it, the less of a sweater you have, and more you have a pile of yarn. Okay? That's how energy reads essentially work. Okay. That's enough for reals. Bless you. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Don't be afraid of what you think. Don't be afraid of what you feel. Let it flow through you, especially in those uncomfortable moments. Then you let it down, leave it alone, and get back to it later. Let it happen organically. You'll have a stronger vision of who you are, what you're about, and what your intentions are, hopefully by December, which is a couple of months for some of you, yeah. Okay, I hope this helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.